All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at our daily routine again. Once again, haven't checked the news to know that, okay, your trading activities will not be interrupted by whatever positive or negative news. And now you get that clarified. And of course, you should identify your session. Then, sometime you come into one session had gone, but you still need to do your basics and all of that. All right, so remember we said we have Asia section, London and New York section. You should define clearly what you wanted. And of course, you know what we are using as our strategy is pass and all you need to know and about to do. And then in combination, and remember again, I said, when you have market not trending properly, you will have your EMA and MACD not really functioning as effective as possible. So that means you're going to be using more of PA as price action at that point in time. And remember, in the price action, three things that say matters in the price action is the candlestick, right? The market structure, then the support and resistance. Now, so let's dive into, irrespective of where you are trading from. Thank God, if you're having the trading mastery, you can use even the platform trading view model. Now let's now go to our trading view. Either you're using your mobile or a system. But remember, we said it's better you have a good system to manage your trade. Okay, now let's just take any instrument, being it gold, being anything. So, being Bitcoin or whichever instrument whatsoever. Okay, let's take Euro USD, even though it's like market now is pending. All right, so now let's go. If you look at this trade was sent since yesterday and is still holding on. So, well, let's disregard all of those things you're seeing. So I'm going to take off everything, virtually everything you are seeing here, so that we can have a plain environment to play with. Okay. A time will come, you will now be doing maybe this thing like once in a week. You only just refine or redefine as it were. All right, now, so let's enable our MACD and every other thing should be enabled. So let's say we take our moving average, 50 moving average should be there. Remember, I say it's either you use 50 moving average or you use, you use MACD or RSI. So MACD is there right now. So if you look at it, this is 1 hour time frame. This market is a downtrend, okay? Now, apart from the MACD, apart from the moving average that's there and all of that, how do we arrive at this market being a downtrend? Yeah, so this tend to be a low, a high, a low, and a high. Then we have a bigger low. Then we have a high. I don't think it's up to this. Let's check. So quite okay, just tap to it. Save. Okay. Then, so since these are low and all of that, this is the more responding low. So we have another low. Then this another high and another low has been created. Right now, so where we are right now, the market tend to like want to do like a double bottom of a thing, but that's not it. Okay, but remember we said as we come for the day, you must not necessarily make your MACD, your moving average available, but on a daily time frame, you see that this market is an uptrend because it's still above your moving average. And apart from that, you could see your structure. This is a low, perhaps. Is this a high? Okay, so then we have a low, we have a high, we have a low. This is a high, this is a low. Okay, so the highest, the last low, the last high. Let's look at this. So this is the most recent high. So if I go by daily time frame, not to be under pressure. So let's go. First thing I say you should do, where is the most recent low? All right, the most recent low. is this. So I'm going to pick that here. This is on a daily time frame. This is a low. All right, so let's look at the swing high, the most recent swing high, or the highest so far is this one. If I like, I could actually extend it. Okay, so now that I've extended this, remember, so you are just giving the higher time frame a broader picture. So now let's go. I could check some pivot point. Yeah, so where market actually get to start doing some kind of movement. And that could be something like this somewhere here. So don't overbother yourself so much if you don't know how to go about this, but they are important because you are trading price action, support and resistance. So this is another pivot point. Okay, so now there is something you must do, right? That means we're going to be looking for the previous day. Okay, we're going to be looking at for the previous day high and low. So if that's the case, now we are going to the new day. That's what it means. But now, so let's look at this. This candle was supposed to be and then we have another candle here. I mean the low of the previous day. Now we are entering into a new day invariably. So, but if you look at this market, was a very poor one for the new day, right? Because you could find a doji, as it were. So when we're going to enter a new day, so let's work with this analysis. There you go. We have a high and a low. So ordinarily, that means when this market opened, it actually just went up before coming down. That's this doji is created. So another pivot point I could find that's obvious is this place. So that means we're going to go to 4 hours, okay? Having identified all of these areas, you went for 4 hours. You get it? So your 4 hours, you want to see some kind of point of interest, as it were. So are we in order? Yes, practically, yes, we are. Okay, so if that's the case, so let's watch and then step down to, and sometime on your 4 hours, you want to drive a trend line if necessary. So, but let's go to 1 hour. Good. So, remember I was saying in 1 hour, the market tend to be bearish, right? So we have broken structure here. Remember, we'll mark all of this before coming to this 1 hour. So when the market open, you want to wait to see when the market actually sweep liquidity on the previous day low, as it were, since the market was closer to that point. Then if that happens, since it's a downtrend now, so this market, you want it to open, perhaps to come and take liquidity up here. So we're going to mark this point as another area of importance. So now what we have here, practically speaking, is that there's a low here, which we're going to identify again. So maybe when market come to sweep it. Okay. So let's go to 30 minutes. Of course, invariably what you see in 1 hour is what's going to be repeating itself in 30 minutes. So now let's go to 15 minutes. So most of your trading activities will be taking place in 15 minutes, 5 minutes, and of course at the same time, 3 minutes, 1 minute, depending on what you can do. All right, now, this market, when it opens, you either want this to come down and sweep this liquidity, or it come down and break and retest it. So if you sweep the liquidity, you want it. a massive dump and then recover into the range. And that's where you want to be buying, targeting the next swing high or, over anything as it is. So that's one of the things. Now, if you look at your moving average, 50 moving average is still above the price, the current swing low of the market. Okay, so now if you come back to 5 minutes, so the 5 minutes just to redefine. So even on 5 minutes is bearish. Okay, so now if you now look at your MACD, so your MACD when it crosses here, you probably might have find an entry and stop loss below here, but no volume. The momentum seriously dropped. Right, so I have to just show us all of this so that when we are taking trade, we can pay attention to all of this detail, or when a signal is sent to us, we know what to do per time. Does that make sense? Good. Now, so here is what happened. You're waiting for this guy to return, take this liquidity and return back into the mid. And then that way you probably can find a buy. Even when your MACD here, you can see the volume is nothing to write home about. Okay? So that's what I just need to tell us at all time, that when you come looking at the market, you just correlate, okay? Market below 50 moving average should be looking for a sell position, and above 50 moving average should be looking for a buy position. All right, so MACD cross. Well, what about the momentum? Very bad. Okay, so the same thing on the GBP USD. Good. Yeah, and you can see the downtime on the 5 minutes. So you want the market to actually, so it's actually pump up here. Wow, before coming down to this point. So you want a situation where market is going to come down, should not go below this. We go below this, that's a very bad one. And so market can sell more further. And that's why when you are checking the market, you do two-way scenario. If this is not effective, then what next? Okay, so that's the simplest aspect of this trading strategy. So you don't need to give yourself unnecessary stress. It's just to obey the simple instruction and be building money and as it were. Okay, so MACD will help you to see that, okay, momentum is returning. All right, so we can see this is divergence. This is a bearish divergence, but probably maybe there's no, what would I say? But another thing is that you need to know, this still continue above this zero MACD line, the market could bounce. Yeah, so that's one of the things about it. So every time, then when market began to range, right? So that's what I did here, for instance, market begin to range, then you mark up where it range to and down. Then you could be finding support and resistance trading strategy at those points. It's helpful, but we need to maximize it. Okay. So once market starts, you just create a limit, then down, create a kind of limit too. Right? So that's one of the things. So when it has to do with this strategy, you don't rack your brain necessarily. It's very simple and straightforward that you can always pay attention to and then be cool. Okay, so everyone, so please pay attention. It's very important for this market as it were. All right, so thank you very much for your time. If you have any question, you can inbox me on the phone number +234 904704 and 998. Thank you very much. Do have a nice day and bye for now.